Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're ever considering building yourself a aquarium light or a grow light, greenhouse, garden or aquaponics, whatever your needs are, you've come to the right place because I'm going to show you how I did mine and it saved a lot of money in the process. The first consideration you're going to need to take into account is the size of your chip, how much wattage. 50 and 100 watts are the industry's common uh, choice for this size of tank. I went with 100, and then you're going to look for a full spectrum light, sort of decide on how many lights you're going to need and the pattern that you're going to need to set your lights up on. The pattern meaning the lens that you're going to use on each light. The lens is part of the light kit that sits on top of your chip, and they come in different thicknesses where they'll have different patterns, 120 degrees all the way down to like 90 degrees, something like that. And this is a basil kit that comes with that, and that mounts on top of your heat sink. The parts you're going to need can be outsourced from Alaska, and you're going to need a heat sink, thermal paste, which you're going to first, after you clean it with acetone, you're going to put a healthy coat of this on there, and you do want to wear gloves with that because it's quite nasty. Then you're going to set your chip on top of your heat sink, put the screws in there, come pre-drilled, and then you're going to set your lens on and your hardware. And this is part of the hardware here, which I welded to the shield, to the shade, and it worked out pretty good because it's metal, and you can then bolt it directly onto there without any additional hardware. Then on the back of this, you're going to take your fan and mount that on the back. Now this whole assembly, I mounted it on two aluminum 3-inch, 2.5-inch bar stock, which would look like, here we go. This would look something like this, and then you're going to set the lamp in between there, position them, 2 feet or whatever you're going to need on your displacement. So those are the parts involved, and the second consideration is there's 2 different types of chips. This is a DC chip, which is polar sensitive. So you're going to be careful where you put your positive lead and your negative lead on there. Well, you solder it right on these tabs. And then there's 120 volt chips, directly wired directly to 120 AC. But if you choose this, you're working with high power over water. I wouldn't recommend it, but it could be done, or depending on what your in this case, it's an aquarium. So if you do that route, you're going to need a fan that also runs on 120 volts milliamps, but it would be a comparable package. In my case, I had to go with a DC charger which worked out good because I was thinking I was going to have 10 lamps on it, so it would have the output to drive all of them. And it has a adjustable voltage outlet where I can take the 33 volts and bring it down to 30 or 25, and it acts as a dimmer. So I set it at 30 volts. So when you got 30 volts coming into your lamps, you're going to need 12 volts to drive your fan, assuming you're going to get 12-volt fans. That's going to be done with this little guy here. It's called a DC-DC converter. I can adjust the voltage in and out in the ballpark and get it right where I want it. If you want to take the process a little more, what do you call it, high tech, you can get one of these from Alyeska. It's a DC timer, programmable, and then you can program your lights to whatever schedule you want. And you would wire this right after the switch, so the switch would activate this, and this would control your lighting. And then if the switch would be power off. So those are all the parts, and that covers the assembly of the lamps.